The only reason people were talking about this relationship is because of Michael Jordan's relationship with his old teammate Scottie Pippen.
True. I wish them the best. I want them to be happy.
I do not wish them the best. I wish them the worst.
Really?
I do not like this relationship. I think it's super clout chasey and gross. World, you're gonna let this woman use you as a pawn to like prop up against her ex Scottie Pippen because he got a problem with MJ and blah blah blah. Like, that's lame to me. You know, a lot of people think things won't work, like, you know, Michael Jordan and his son. You know,
Oh boy.
I just saw that Stephen A. Smith, you know, he actually spoke out about Larsa Pippen's relationship with Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan. So I just want to play some of the audio because I haven't heard it yet. And I just want to hear what Stephen A. has to say about this, you know, before we get into what MJ said.
He's been getting into some salacious stuff.
It looks gorgeous. It's perfectly understandable why Marcus Jordan said, "Dad, I appreciate where you're coming from, but you need to fall back. I ain't trying to hear you. What the hell you got to say, Dad, on that? Do you see what the hell I'm with? Shit, Dad, I ain't letting that go, Pops. I'm sorry, Pops. You know what Jordan probably did? Want me to tell you what Jordan probably did when Marcus sat up there and said, Dad, you see her? I'm passing this up. What you know what Jordan did? He did exactly what he did when he hit those damn 5 3-pointers in the first half against the Portland Trailblazers in the NBA Finals with Magic Johnson doing color commentary on NBC.
What? Hit that shrug.
I promise you, that's exactly what Jordan did. Because I can't stop my son from getting some. He's a grown-ass man.
What
I
platform
can't
did he
tell
say
him
this on?
His podcast.
who to be with and who not to be with. I would have liked for him to make a better choice. And I don't mean better to denigrate Larsa in that way. When I say better choice, meaning something that didn't hit so close to home. And that's why, Larsa, with all due respect, nobody wants to hear about your traumatization.
I'm glad that Stephen A's podcast has gotten better. I listened a few times, and he was still like the same person he was on ESPN, and it wasn't great. But this is much more entertaining.
Yeah, he's expanding. You know, his topics. You know, I saw he shouted out Martha Stewart a few weeks ago for being on Sports Illustrated. So he's getting more into pop culture.
Good for him.
But yeah, he's pretty much he's speaking on. You know, Larsa said she felt like traumatized and embarrassed by MJ's comments. Now, Michael Jordan, he was out to dinner with his beautiful wife. I think they're on vacation in like France or some shit. And they asked him, "Do you approve of your son dating Larsa Pippen?" What did MJ? What did he say? Oh, they're.
Hey, Mr. Jordan, what do you think about Marcus and Larsa Pippen together? You approve of it?
No.
You don't approve? Do you think he's going to ask her to marry him?
Oh man, he did not have to stab his son in the back like that. Not on a public stage. But I know Jordan had a few drinks and he was like, fuck it, no.
I think he did the right thing. You know, first off, the only reason people were talking about this relationship is because of Michael Jordan's relationship with his old teammate Scottie Pippen.
True.
You know, the age difference is crazy. Whether like he's our age, he's 32.
It's like 15 years.
I think it's 17 years.
Yeah,
she's 49
like
and he is 32. They have a podcast together where they talked about this, and Marcus was saying, "Oh, I knew my dad was just joking." He was like, "Oh, you know, everyone was, you know, sending this to me, calling me up." But he said his dad, you know, Michael Jordan texted him to tell him like, "Oh, I was just, you know, fucking around or whatever." And he's like, he understood. He's like, you know, the Jordans, we just very competitive, and you know, this is just how we are. And Larsa was like,
Marcus, you're not competitive. You're not competing with anyone.
He's competing
except Father Time. Like.
Yeah, and then Larsa said she was like, she didn't find it funny at all, blah blah blah, but she did, you know, say, "Oh, I'm glad that he reached out," or you know, she can't talk too spicy about it, but she was not happy. I think MJ, he meant that shit 100%. Like he's like, "I'm not fucking with this." Like, come on, bro. You 32? Would you ever date a 49-year-old woman if you were single?
No, not a 49-year-old. The age limit would have to be 40.
Yeah, that makes sense. My age limit is 32.
Your current age. Real nice.
It's really like 30, 31. Yeah, but
any you want to keep rolling it back or no?
But 49, like, you're my mom. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care how much surgery you had. She's still doing it for the clout. Come on, she wants to go from Pippen to Jordan, and this is her way to do it.
And she's still got no backbone. Talking about I'm traumatized. Girl, you're an old ass woman. You're about to be 50 years old. Listen, get over it. You picked this guy. You've been on a media tour because you know the shit is salacious. So why are you pretending?
Yeah, because you got a podcast to promote, and they celebrated her birthday. I think like after Jordan made those comments, and they posed for pictures of him, Marcus smoking hookah from her boobs. So seems like everything is good. She is still a mother, a whole mom, as Kiki Palmer's baby dad would say.
Yeah.
But do you think that their relationship is gonna last? Like,
it might. I don't know. I think she's like playing right now. I think she's having fun, but at the same time, where do you go from here? And I feel like that's what she's been trying to figure out.
OnlyFans. They got the podcast. That's the next step.
She would get a crazy bag.
Yeah, but listen, it looks like you're already ready to spend the money.
No, I'm not spending the money. I told you, anything over 40. Plus, I'm not spending money when they're porn for free. Like, but I mean, plenty of people do, and
yeah, I was not surprised when I saw MJ react like this. I'm surprised he didn't say it sooner, but he's not outspoken like that. He's not out in the media like that. I'm surprised. They were even able to get to him. We don't really see the paparazzi like after MJ. So he was like on vacation like somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Because when he's in the States, he's kind of super low key.
Yeah. Plus he's got the money to keep it low key. But I wish them the best. It's just
I don't wish them the best.
I wish them the best. I want them to be happy. Like whether it's together or not, I want everybody to be happy, but this is messy. And they knew that, and it'll continue to be messy until either they get married, and then it'll be messy when they get a surrogate or whatever else craziness they decide to do.
No, I do not wish them the best. I wish them the worst.
Really?
Fuck them. I do not like this relationship. I think it's super clout chasey and gross on so many levels. I think he looks so corny.
The hookah thing was really corny. I will definitely admit that. That was a bad look.
It's like the Megan Good thing. It's like, why be a pawn for somebody? They're using you just for clout or just for a name or just to get through some shit. Like, I don't like those media games. So, especially if your dad is Michael Jordan, bro, like, have some fucking self-respect. You could have so many more people in the world. You're going to let this woman use you as a pawn to like prop up against her ex Scottie Pippen because he got a problem with MJ and blah blah blah. Like, that's lame to me. But we saw Scottie out recently, and it seems like he's living his best life too, bro. I know you've been pretty critical of Scottie Pippen since you're such a big Jordan fan, but how you feel about him hitting the streets and being out there, bro?
I mean, what else is he supposed to do? You look at a lot of these retired ball players, Paul Pierce, Chuck, Shaq. Everybody's doing what they want to do. Everybody's trying to pursue happiness, and Scottie deserves it too.
Okay,
and he's clearly not. Yeah, he's clearly not finding it with his ex, and his kids are pretty much grown at this point. So he's got to find a new partner now. The woman he found, I don't know how he feels about her flashing her boobs to the paparazzi, but through the bra it looks all right. So
I don't think he's mad at all. I think he's loving this shit, yo.
Yeah.
I think they're both married with kids, and who knows what they're going through. But they obviously both going through a midlife crisis right now because this shit's embarrassing. If these were my parents out there, divorced and just wilding, like competing with each other with TMZ shit, trying to out wild each other when you both like in your fucking 50s, I'd feel really embarrassed.
What can you do? But I mean, I'm sure for the kids, they probably watched this growing up all the time. It was just in the house.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, you never know because I mean, look at Steph Curry's parents. You know, we thought they had the perfect marriage, and then they got divorced, had a messy ass divorce, and then both popped up with another divorced couple.
They chose the swing couple. Like that's the craziest shit, and nobody really talks about that, which is even crazier. But Steph got a good publicist team.
Yeah, and they're not like out there trying to make headlines. You know, these people they call the paparazzi. Like, obviously, Larsa Pippen was celebrating her birthday. She fucking, you know, had them, you know, document that because to get some good publicity or promote their podcast. With Scottie Pippen, the paparazzi were following him. He knew the girl was going, you know what I mean? He looked like he was cool with her just rolling the window down and doing that. Like, so I don't know. I think it's all petty games. It don't matter how much money you have, don't matter how famous you are. You could still be lame and corny and have a midlife crisis. So I think that's what we're seeing. I just wouldn't want to be a part of someone's midlife crisis, especially if I already had rich parents. Like, it's not like he's getting a bag from this. What are you doing?
But maybe that's why the kids don't care. They got everything that they want.
I'm talking about Marcus. Like, he don't need to do this. You know,
what does he do?
He's in love.
What
does he doesn't have to do anything.
I feel like one of the most disappointing things would have to be for a parent to become like the greatest or like the most well known for X, and your kids just do nothing with it.
What do you mean?
Like, for Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, he has kids. What have his kids ever been great at?
I don't know. Maybe Marcus, you know, maybe he's great at poetry. Maybe his poetry game is crazy.
But we would know. We would know if he was great at poetry.
Why would we know that? We don't know any great poets. Look at Drake.
Maya Angelou.
Bro, get out of here. Man.
We know all the rappers are great poets. That's why they're famous. Like, there's plenty of people. I'm just saying, he was the greatest at what he did. And then it sets your kids up for failure, yes. But at the same time, it's like, do something.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Donald Trump was famous for saying, I don't want to name my son after me. What if he is a loser?
That's a good point. That's a fair point. That's why I would never. Well, that's not why, but I would never name my kid after myself either, because I want them to have their own destiny, be their own person. I wouldn't want to name them after either myself or another like famous person or anything like that. Now, if I like a name, sure, I could use that name, but
yeah, I wouldn't name my kid after me either. Like, it's one me, and if I do have a loser kid, I'm blaming the mom. Because it's not from me.
For real. You gotta switch it around. How women are always like, that child came from me. You're exactly right. That kid right there, that loser, that bum, that degenerate came from you.
Right? No one ever claims the fucking losers. It's always like, my kid did this, my kid. Okay, let's hear about the bad shit your kid did.
But as a parent, you definitely take some ownership. You gotta do it.
Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, like
all the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.